Hey guys, welcome to Cycling Triathlete. Today we'll be going through sports drinks. They're super overpriced and we're going to be making our own using the exact same ingredients that big brands use for a lot less money. This means you can tailor the drink to your needs, to your body weight. All it takes is a little bit more effort, a little bit more prep, but it can save you a lot of money in the long run. Let's check out what we need. So here is what you need. You need some maltodextrin. I've got this from this company here, not a sponsor, just the cheapest I could find. 5 kilograms for just less than £20, bargain. Make sure you get pure stuff, not flavoured. Next up, you need fructose. Pure fructose, this was £1.50 for 500 grams, so absolute bargain there, super cheap. Optional, citric acid. You get this from any shop, usually, like it says here, it's to adjust the acidity of wine, but it also adds some acidity to the sweet drink to balance it out. And then optionally again, some squash as some flavouring, okay? This is essentially what sports drinks use. Oh, and some salt. You can use salt if you want for your electrolytes if you're doing a longer ride in the heat. Very useful. Another thing, tub, mix it all together, weigh it out, put it in a tub if you want to. And some scales, you need grams for your scales. So in case you're interested in the maths, here it is. So Beta Fuel and also Flow Cycling use 90 grams of carbs in their concoctions, okay? They use a 1 to 0.8 maltodextrin to fructose ratio. Now, initially people thought it would be a 2 to 1 maltodextrin to fructose, but recent research has suggested that you can actually get away with this concentration, which is quite nice because they're both absorbed different ways in the gut, and people have had good results with this. So it's up to you. You can use a 2 to 1 or a 1 to 0.8. So what we do is we take the 90 grams of carbs, we divide it by 18, so that's 10 and 8, to get 5, so 1 unit is worth 5, so we split that up into the 10 and 8, so 10 times 5 is 50, so 50 grams of maltodextrin, and 8 times 5 is 40 obviously, so 40 grams of fructose. So the numbers you're looking for are these two here in order to make your 90 grams of carbs in your 1 to 0.8 ratio, just like Beta Fuel and Flow Cycling. Just to prove my point, here we've got Torque, which is a completely different brand, an energy drink, quite a nice one, they make good stuff. And they have got here a 2 to 1 maltodextrin to fructose ratio. That's literally what we've got behind us here, but a lot cheaper. This probably costs the same as this one packet, and we've got 5.5 kilos here. Not in the right ratios, but still. So 5 electrolytes, that's just fancy word for it's got salt in, and natural flavourings, that's just the squash. So they use 2 to 1, so if you want 2 to 1 and to emulate Torque, go for it. Likewise, another brand, SIS here, 47 grams of carbs, and they proudly advertise as well that they use a maltodextrin and fructose mix. So they've actually got some sweetener in there. I'm not sure why they've got sweetener. I find it extremely sweet as it is. So again, they've basically got natural flavourings, so the squash, and then they also have some acids, so citric acid, which is what we've got as well. There's loads of studies out there on different ratios, so anything between a 2 to 1 and a 1 to 0.8 is probably going to be good stuff for you. Okay, next up you're going to need a bottle, so I've got just my normal cycling bottle. Put a little bit of water in there, and that means that things don't get stuck to the bottom of the bottle, which is quite important. Now you've got your water in there, turn your scales on, zero them. Okay, next up you're going to scoop in your 50 grams of maltodextrin, your 40 grams of fructose, bit of squash, pinch of salt if you're exercising in the heat especially. I generally use about half a teaspoon of citric acid per bottle, and that usually does the trick, but this is just a bit like the squash, you adjust it to your liking. Okay. You will find this drink is extremely sweet because you've got 90 grams of sugar in there, which is a lot of sugar. Obviously, you don't want to be having this all the time. However, if you're racing or you're at the top end of your performance, then you're going to be wanting that. If you're training, probably recommend about maximum of 60 grams. So just scale down the ratios instead of 90. If you're in a race, I would say 90. It's probably worth it. Over 2 hours, this is going to be good. Between 1 and 2, you can fuel a bit depending on intensity. Less than 1 hour, definitely you don't need anything. I mean, you don't even really need water for that unless you're in the super heat. So come back when I mix that together. So after you've put those ratios of the ingredients in to your liking, screw your lid on and shake well. Especially the maltodextrin can bunch up. The fructose, generally speaking, goes in straight away. Shake that up really good. Generally speaking, I do this at least 20 minutes before a ride if I'm doing strong concentrations, because otherwise you're going to have a bit of problem with clumping and then it's going to get stronger towards the end. Okay, hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's going to save you some money in the long run. Hopefully you like your own DIY sports drink. I would say if you're skeptical at the start, maybe buy a bit less of the ingredients. Instead of 5 kilograms of maltodextrin, maybe 1 kilogram, whatever you want. But like I say, you're essentially making what the brand's making. You're using the exact same ingredients. So if you like that, the only thing you're going to miss is the flavouring. They nail the flavouring really good on brands. However, you've just got squash. You can experiment with your own flavourings. There's loads of flavourings out there. So definitely give it a go, mix it up, experiment, that's the whole point. There's loads of research out there, and you can actually adjust it to your body weight. If you found this video useful, then hit that like, hit that subscribe for more videos just like this one. And I'll see you in the next one.